everyone, I'm Hilary Chin. Thank you all so much for coming and watching my YouTube channel. Today I'll be showing you how to design a simple Kobotoolbox form and how to deploy the form. And beyond that, we are going to be looking at how you can design a QR code and send to your data collectors or enumerators to start collecting data. This is a new update in terms of collecting data and in terms of deploying forms. Please, let's jump in so I show you what I mean. Please do well to subscribe and share.
Okay guys, so this is our Kobotoolbox system here. I'm going to pin this website on the comment section. So once you are here, all you need to do is to click start, get started. You can click from here, you can click from up here. All you need to do is to click your get started. You have two different servers. You have one server that is global. You have the other server that is controlled by European Union. So whichever server you want or like, you can create your account in it, okay? But this is why I created my account under the European Union server. So if I click create account, if I already have my account, if I click sign in, I'll just go to my account, okay? But you is new, you want to create a new account, you just come and create an account. And once you click this source, it brings you here, and all you need to do is to write your full names, write your username. This is my username here. My username here is numerical, which you see, and then you write your email address. Make sure you use the Gmail address that you are using that is active, okay? Because they are going to be sending confirmation there for you to confirm and then continue. Here you put your country. There are many countries here. You can choose your country depending on where you are creating the form from, and then here you put the sector. Here you have different areas: education, environment, etc., disaster risk management, etc. And then here also you put the organization. Are you a non-profit? Are you a government? Are you an education institution? Are you associated with are you an individual? Are you a company? You put that here, okay? And then come here and choose whether you want to be getting updates or whether you want to agree to their terms and conditions, and then you write your password, okay? And they also come here and also write your password to confirm. Once you do that, you click create an account. You click this blue button here. Remember that, like I said, you need a Gmail account to be able to do this, because you have to go back and check the confirmation there that will be sent. Of course, I have already created my account. All I'll do here now is to make sure that I go to login here and I click my login. So as I go to my login, you will see my username. Okay, this is my username, numerical, and then my password. All I'll do here is just click my login. And once I log into the Kobotoolbox system, there are many things we are going to be seeing. So these are other questions that I have designed. So here I just want to walk you through some very basic things in here. So if I come here and I click project, it brings me here, okay? If I come here and I click deployed, so it shows me all the forms that I have deployed, okay? These are the forms that I have deployed. If I come here and I click draft, these are the forms that I have kept in draft. Draft means I started designing but I have not deployed, okay? I just kept them there. Maybe I visit them some other time. So I can come to draft here and I click a particular project and it brings me the project here. This is the project. And when you click each project, you will find three areas appear. You find the summary area, the form area, the data area, or the setting area, okay? With the summary area, it just gives you a glance on when last you modified the form, and when last you deployed the form, and then tells you whether you can edit the form, whether you can share this project, whether you can preview the form. It just gives you a glance, okay? Shows you today is July 29 to the 29, and you know, it just shows you give you some blueprint, give you the description, etc. So now when you click on the form itself, it shows you the form itself, okay? And it gives you options to edit, options to view, preview the form. It gives you options to replace the form. There's a way you replace form. If I remove this form, put it in Excel, I can fix something there, then replace it with this form and bring it back here, okay? So that is for another video, for another day. Today I just want us to look at the Kobotoolbox system and create a very fresh form, and then use our QR code and start collecting data. Here also we can deploy the form. Now if I create a form and I don't click deploy, when they collect data in that form, the data will not enter into the system because I have not deployed that form, okay? So we are in the form area. So in the data area, this area only becomes active. It becomes active only when questionnaires or response start coming in, okay, you start seeing the area of the data. Okay, you start seeing how the data is coming in. That is when this area starts being active. Now we have setting here is just amazing because it shows you the name of the project, the description. It shows you whether you can delete the project or not. So if I click delete, I have to confirm delete demo. Okay, you are about to permanently delete this file, yes or no. So I don't want to delete for now. So it shows me how I created this file. It shows me the country, it shows me also the sector required. And then if I want to change something here, maybe the description, maybe I want to just put hello here. Okay, and then also maybe I want to just put hello also here. You see that I can change from here, right? And then I'll come here now and I click save changes. I have saved my changes. You see that from the demo up here, from the title up here, it changes to hello. Okay, so this is how you can preview your form. But of course, I can from anywhere here, I can just go here also and I click library. Library is where you keep your forms. Okay, you can remove questions from library that you saved and then bring it to a particular form that you are designing. I think we have done video on that. We don't want to make it overwhelmed for you. Okay, I just wanted to show you the environment. Now from anywhere, whether you are in library, whether you are in your projects, wherever you are, you would see this button new appearing anytime. That is to tell you that the button is ready for you to create a new form. Okay, so we also have archive. Let's not forget the word archive here. This is where I can archive my forms. Okay, so now in this area where we have new, if I click new, you see that these 4 boxes appear. The first one says build form from scratch, which we are going to be using now. This one says upload an XLMS form. I can create a form in Excel and upload it into this system and it becomes a form. Okay, I can use a template and also I can import an XML form via URL. Okay, I think I've done this using Google Sheet. It's very, very amazing and very exciting. So right now, let's go in and choose build from scratch. Since you are a beginner or maybe advanced, you are going to be starting to build your first form. So we are going to call this demo form. Okay, demo form, and we are going to call this learning. We are describe now. Description is you can give a more expatiate more on why you want to create the form. You put it now at the level of description. Okay, and then here you choose the sector. I'll choose education, and then here I'll choose the country. Let's just choose Cameroon. Okay, and then I come here and I choose Cameroon, and then I click create project. Now we are creating a new project. You see that it gives us another interface, pretty new interface, prepared to create a form. Now if you look at the preview form, expand, and the create group, you see that all of them are off. Okay, all of them are off because we have not started creating form. Until when you start creating a form, then this ones will be active. And then here you have add from library. I can click on my library here and I come here and I start taking questions and adding it in here. But of course, like I said, I don't want to overwhelm us. We are not going to go through that. Okay, so I'm going to delete library. So now I'm going to come here. I can show and decide how I want this particular question how I want it to show. Okay, so I want it to have a grid theme. Okay, I'll be showing you this as we move ahead. So now, oh sorry sorry. Okay, so let's go back to our projects. I think I have a small I missed the form here somewhere. What did we save it again? Demo form. This is the form. Okay, it's here. Okay, this is the form. Let's come back here. Okay, let's go back now to edit form. So this is where we were, right? You saw that I missed the form. I had to go back, bring the form, and then go back to edit, and then we are where we stopped. So come here first, delete this one. So we'll create our first form. So once you click your first form, I want to ask names. Okay, the name of the child, and then I come here and I click add question. So now these are different options here. Select one means you are asking whether it's a male or female, so they'll select one. Okay, select many means you are asking their sources of income, whether they take money, whether they have money through farming, through sales, through support. You know, you can click many options. That's what this one means. Text means you just write the name. Okay, name, it means we're going to be writing names, right? You're going to be writing their names. And then number here means you're going to put in a number. Okay, that's a data type. And then decimal means you are dealing with money. You're asking people how much you do spend, etc. Date means you want to know the date of maybe when they came to school, or date when they're entering their data, or date when they received something, etc. Time is the same thing. You want to know the time. And then here you want to know the time and the date now put together. Here is the point, the Joe point. You want to know specifically the area where they are operating, etc. Here is photo. You want to see if they are doing an activity. You want them to take a picture and put it in the system so it can appear in your system and you see what they are doing. Audio is the same. You want them to speak. Video is the same. You want to send video. Line the same. Note here is just you want to create, you want to start an introduction of something, and you just want to introduce something and a note to appear. A barcode is the same thing. You want to create a barcode. Acknowledge, area, rating, question, metrics, ranking, range, file, hidden, calculate, and external XML. Now, I don't want you to get overwhelmed with all this, okay? I want us to use few of them. The ones that you'll be using regularly is select one, select many, text, number, decimal, point, date, time, date and time. These are the ones that you are going to be using regularly. Let's start with the first one, name. Name is text. So we want them to be putting name. Now each time you create a question, make sure you come and click save here. And then if I go to the next one and I put sex, I want to know whether the person is a male or female. So I'll come now, instead of selecting text, I'll select one. And when you select one, now it gives you different options, right? You put male, and then here now you put female. You see? And then I'd like to put the same here, and I'd like to put the same here. Okay, so every time I create my question, I'm going to put save. Okay, good. And I'll just put it down. Then here I'll put number of bags. Okay, we just want to know, maybe they are carrying bags of cocoyam. We want to know how many bags they carry. Now I'll put no. Remember, we first use text, we have used select one, and then now want to use number. Okay, so they'll be giving us the number of bags that they carry. Okay, whether they are male or female, they'll be giving us the number of bags that they carry. And then also number of fire wood. Okay, so we'll still choose number again, and then we save. Now this is getting more exciting. And around here we'll have 1, 2, 3, 4 questions. I want us to try maybe putting another question type, the date. Okay, we want them to give us their date. This is a date here, so you see how this will appear. And then also we just want to try the different questions. You want to give them the location. We'll just say location point. And then here you would see that if we come here and choose the point here, and then we click, so that we are creating many questions, right? We come here again and maybe want to choose the time. No, I think we should leave it like this. So I think we have had all the basic questions that you would find: the text, the select one, and then numbers, and then date, and then location point. Now I will save again. Make sure that each time you create a question, you save. Now if I come to each question here, right, to this question, and I come to this setting here, you see it gives me this other option here. I can decide to make it mandatory, so I click yes, mandatory, and I save. And when I go to this X and I click, you see that there's a small star up here. There's a small star up here. This star is indicating that the question is mandatory. It means they must answer that question. If they don't answer it, they won't move to the next question. So you also have it here also mandatory, and then you also have it here also mandatory. Okay, so this is how so you always also have it here mandatory. Mandatory means they must answer this question. If they don't answer the question, they will not submit the form, or they will not go to the next. Okay, so That is it. Perfect. All right. So here now, when you look at the equation that we have here, you see that these are the equations. Now there is something again I want you to know when you are designing your equations. Okay, if I come here now, you see that the preview form has come on, so I can click here and then it previews my form. You see, so I'm previewing my form from here, guys. You see, so you see this is the name, this is how it appears. Select one, this is how it appears. Number of bags, number of firewood, the date, this is how it appears, and then the location, the point. So here you'll be recording the latitude and longitude. The moment you open this, it starts recording. Okay, it starts recording. And now there is also something you have to do. Always try to validate your form. Form contains error, please fill. Okay, so the errors here are appearing because I need to fill the form. Okay, it means I was supposed to come here like this for testing. I just put H is a name, I just put female, male, right? Then I put male, then I put maybe number of bags 9, firewood again 9, and then I come to the date. You see today is 4th of August, and I click 4th of August, and then maybe this longitude I come here and I click, and I give it some time, or I can just come here, you see, and then once I validate, you see that the form is valid, right? The form is valid, so it has no issues. This is how we also validate forms, right? I can come here and I click, and then anyway, I don't want to go as far as that. Let's go back to our form, and then here again there is something I want you to know. If I want to start to create a group, okay, I want to group this form. Maybe I want to put all these and name it items, for instance. I'll play with my mouse here, it turns to this small, you see my mouse is changing to this cross, this 4 cross here. I hold my control button down and I select, right, select. Now once I select all this, I'll come now to this small icon here. It says create group, and I click create. It becomes a group. Now I'll just say items. You see, once I say items, now I can group this. You see, it becomes a group. So I have already created a group. You see how it is now. So now this group now here, I can also do something here very powerful. I can come here to this layout and setting here, and I click. Once I click, I can come here and remove from a single page default, and I put grid lines, and then I save. Once I put grid lines on and then I preview this form again, you see that it will come up in a different form, in a grid line form. Okay guys, you see that's a grid line form. You see how my form appears now. Now it appears in a grid line form. You see now you have demo form, items. I have created a group, so if I lower this group down, you see it becomes a group, and then if I put it down, you see it opens up, so they can write names, write this. So this is how many times people create their forms to make it more clean, more open, and more visible, right? So this is how we do it. So here now, what I can do here now is to deploy this form. We will deploy this form now, and then we go ahead and create a QR code. So I'll come here and I click deploy. So it's deploying. Once I deploy my form, you see that other aspect appear. And when you deploy a form, make sure that you put allowed. You click allow submission to this form without username and password. Always make sure. And then there are different options when you deploy. You have online, offline, multiple submissions, online only, multiple submissions. You have online single submission. You have online only once per respondent. You have embedded web code, view only, and they have Android application. Okay, so we are going to be looking at how to deploy a form using Android application in another video, but today I want to show you how to just bring your link in a QR form, in a QR code, and then you start collecting data. Let's say you have finished designing this form, but I would prefer you use the online offline multiple submissions, which is common. Okay, and then after you have deployed, you copy your link. Now we want to take you and create a QR code, so I'll show you how to do it, and then we see how we can collect data. Yes, so when you come to this site adobe.com, it says create QR code, and I click. it brings me right here where it opens up another interface, beautiful interface, where I can create my QR code very easily. Okay, you have to learn these different skills and learn how to navigate across different platforms. So what I'll do, I'll come back to Kobotoolbox here, and I click this link. You see I have copied the link, and I come back to this Adobe Express, and then I paste the link in here. You see, once I paste this my Kobotoolbox form link in here, it creates me a QR code. You see, and then all I need to do is to come down here and I download that code. And then when I download that code, I'll double click. You see, once I double click, it opens up the code. So it's taking some time, guys. So it opens up the code. This is the code here. I'll just lower this code a little bit. So you see that I have just launched my QR code, and this is my phone. Okay, this is my phone here, and when you look at my phone, I'll just go up here and I bring my phone down, and then I choose this option that says scan QR code. Okay, and I'll click, and then I'll take it now to that particular, you see, I'll take it now to my QR code, you see, and automatically it shows me to open the link, and I open the link. And then once I open the link, you see the interface of my phone, right? So that's my form. So I'll just go here, I click mail, and I write my name, Hillary, you see, and then I come here and I put 100 bags, and I come here and I put another 100 firewood, and then I'll click the date of today, 4th, and I click my set, and then I come here now and I click this small icon here on my phone, and I click it, and it will read the GPS point and the location of this place where I am. It will read it, and then I'll click submit. Okay, it says form contains errors, so this field is required. So my GPS point has not been read properly, so it has been read now properly, you see. So 4.15359 9 point, you see, so everything has been read properly, and then now I'll click submit. Now once I click submit, you see that form was successfully submitted. You see, I have submitted the form. I'll just click OK. I'll submit another form. I'll click Joe now. I'll put Joe, and then I come and put female, and then I put 200 back now instead, and then I put 200 firewood, and I put another date. I put feet instead, and then here now I'll click this small icon. Remember, this small icon is very important. It is taking time because we are dealing with location, so it has to take time to read the location before it gives me the answer. So I'll click again, it still shows error. I'll come again and I still click that location to see whether it will go. But of course, there is always one advice: each time you design your form, make sure that you don't put location as mandatory, okay, such that if they are having issues with location, they will still submit the forms. Okay, now I'll come here and I click my submit. Now we have another submission. It says demo form 2 was successfully submitted. Okay, let's go now into our Kobo system and see what it looks like in there. So when we come now to our Kobo system, always make sure you come up here and then you refresh your form. Okay, and then when you refresh your form, if you go to project and we check our demo, you would see that we have 2 submissions here. You see, these are the 2 submissions. And then we will go back now to that demo form and we click on the form. Okay, when we click on the form, we come to form, and then we come to data. You would see that the data option now is active because we started putting in data. Okay, you see, so this is the 200, this is the male. Remember, we first chose Hillary, we chose Joe, and then you have 200, 200, and then this is our form. Now you can have reports. We can go now to report, and then you start seeing, you see, all of them were male, and then we saw that we had this amount. This blue stands for, let's see what this blue stands for. I don't think you have legend here. So this is the dates. These were the dates that we chose, and then yeah, the different dates that we chose. And then let's see, what we have here again. So this is an automated report based on raw data submitted to this project. Please conduct proper data cleaning prior to using the graphs and figures. You see, so it gives you just a glance of the data you have submitted. So we can also download this data out. Okay, we can remove this data to Excel.